What's good in your life right now? Write in the comments what you think about it. Enjoy the show. Story 1, just moved to a house on a lake. Down 20 pounds in 2 months. Ran into old high school crush who was eons out of my league. She's into me and we're talking now. Just had my best day in sales at my new job yet. Made about $800 in one day. Story 2. Honestly, nothing life is the same after HS. I haven't made any progress, but I am proud of my sister. She's dating this boy who she finally had a crush on ever since she started working at this company, and she finally got her dream car. I couldn't be any more happier than ever. She's the reason why life is worth living. Story 3, I just bought 4 books I've been dying to read. I'm working on a D&D character that I can't wait to use in my next campaign with my group. I had D&D today and had just a really good time, except one of my friend's characters died. I plan to call up one of my best friends on Friday to reschedule hanging out. I'm actually sleeping again. Story 4. I broke a cycle of jumping from abusive and narcissistic women in my dating life. I broke it a year ago and went out with a marvelous person. But I'm not trying to date. I'm rejecting ones that don't match my vibe right now, and I've cut off those unhealthy relationships so I can focus on myself. Story 5. I finally put out the 2nd episode of a Kindle Vella series I've been meaning to update. I've been depressed since April, but things are getting better. Losing 2 beloved kitties within a week of each other was so not fun, and it really set me back, but my heart just couldn't handle much. Story 6. I feel like I'm finally getting to the point in my transition where passing isn't something that takes up 85% of my attention, and I can properly enjoy my newfound ability to care about myself. My relationship is in the best place it's ever been. I've gotten back into some hobbies I haven't gotten to in a long while. Generally good stuff. Story 7, I got good grades on my tests. I might get into math extension. My mom is happy. I have a job. I'm making money to buy her and my dad some presents. I'm going on a South Pacific cruise for my birthday. I have good friends. I am good at my 3 sports I play. My education accommodation plan is really nice and helps me a lot. Story 8, everything. I've got a handsome, super smart, and super sweet boyfriend. We just adopted a senior cat. I will be training to get a massive promotion soon at my dream job. My boyfriend's small business has started generating revenue. We've got vacations coming up. I'm over the moon with my life. Story 9, I'm just trying my luck for a chance for my next win at a big tournament in the next year and a few years from today. And hopefully I'll get a win this time around and hopefully get to play for a few weeks at some sort of way for my next one day off from work. So hopefully I'll win the next one is in the future. But if you want me to win, yup, I'll get a trophy from a win for a good game and a win for a great one. And then I'll win for you all win and a great luck win day. To you all in my heart, always my best luck, all my heart for the future and always and forever and always and always and always. And I hope. Story 10, holy shit, absolutely everything. I have a great place, a paid-for car, 2 motorcycles, 2 work-from-home days a week, a commute so short I come home for lunch every day. My coworkers like and respect me. I've got no debt. I have an arcade machine and a jukebox in my living room. I'm in good health. I have job security. I earn enough to indulge my hobbies. I've traveled internationally and have come back with amazing photos. And I've just celebrated my 1st wedding anniversary. And much of this has only happened because of my wife's support. Oh, and we've got a great cat and dog. Life for me is better than it has ever been. Story 11. I have been sober for 704 days. My drug of choice happens to be fentanyl. I am no longer living in the streets. I have my own place. I have full custody of my daughter. I saved enough to buy a vehicle. I thank God every day because quitting was the hardest thing I ever had to do because of how horrible the withdrawals were. I no longer get angry when people judge me because of my past. I'm able to speak about it and not feel ashamed of myself. If I did it, anybody can do it. Story 12, nothing. Not a damn thing. Work for a slave-driving boss with 0 empathy for his employees, only to come home to a partner that has no respect for me or the relationship. I'm stuck here. Homelessness isn't an option. Being jobless isn't an option. Suicide? Not an option. Nope. I have to provide a roof over my child's head, food in his stomach, clothes, etc. No, I have to be slave-driven. Story 13. I just moved my family out of a small home in the posh and highly desirable area of my city to a spacious home deep in the suburbs surrounded by green space. I genuinely didn't know this level of calm and this degree of happiness existed. Also, the people are so much friendlier and welcoming here. Story 14. In January, I relapsed on crack and was having severe seizures. I lost my job, place, and my fiancée at the time, right before I relapsed. I was basically homeless, going through an ounce every other day. Had to give up my dog to my grandparents. I was jumped and robbed by people I considered friends. Literally the worst I've been since I was 15. I got sober at the end of January. Cold turkey. I built up my life again. I have my dog back, plus one more, in the nicest house I've ever rented. I'm studying for my LSAT exam and work at a high-paying job with my first baby on the way. My brain has come back in full force. I was scared due to the seizures it would never come back, but it did quite quickly. I'm so incredibly proud of myself. It's astonishing to me how fast I was able to turn my life back around and get back on my feet again. Honestly, the couple months I was in addiction, it taught me some very valuable lessons. I'm a very trusting and helpful person to everybody. I finally learned the hard way that most people take advantage. I think the only reason I was able to excel further in life these few months than I did the 6 years I was sober before is because I stopped dedicating all my time in helping people that wouldn't give two fucks about me. Story 15, our finances. My husband and I bought a second home, which is a new construction property and beautiful. We love living here. We rented out our 2-bed condo, and the rent covers the mortgage, condo fee, and property tax. Both our 401k made money this year, and my husband's stock investments also went up. It's a relief to not have to worry about money after spending all of my 20s in debt. Story 16, finally taking the time to figure out who I am and what I want out of life. Downside is I had to lose someone I cared about that was holding me back to do so. But learning to let go and still wish them well with no regret or ill intent is a lesson in life. One more lesson off the bucket list. Story 17. Recently removed myself from a bad long-term relationship and doing some self-discovery right now and learning a lot about myself. Making good progress on correcting some of the flaws that have held me back on a lot of things throughout my life. So that's fun, hard doing things alone, but it is neat kind of meeting myself for the first time in years. Story 18. I'm currently working freelance, and business has been slow recently, so I've taken the time to look for full-time employment in a new town. Pretty much my fiance lives 50 miles away, and I've been wanting to find a job closer to her and then eventually buy a house together. That's the dream anyway. Well, last week I spent the day down in her area, canvassing and speaking to people, giving out my CV, and just marketing myself as best I can. I got some great feedback and a possible freelancing network within 2 months. I've spoken with my future in-laws about my job prospects, and their immediate reaction was that over the weekend, we start moving furniture around and make some space so I can move in with them. My in-laws are genuinely excited to have me and are being super supportive. 2 years ago, the thought of moving out and living with my fiance was just a pipe dream, but currently it's looking like I could make the move within a few months. Story 19, M18. Living in Thailand since being a baby and just graduated. Now working as an English teacher part-time, saving money for when I go to Australia in 2 weeks. I've been improving and eliminating my bad habits, being more responsible and aware of how I spend my time on screens, reading, journaling. My sleep is getting better. I've started to talk to a therapist because I don't talk to many people. Realized how my curiosity is such an amazing trait, and now trying to improve on how I ask questions and communicate. Excited to have the freedom to try new things with good money, learn, explore a new place, a new city. Start doing small things like saving my favorite restaurants on Google Maps, and as I keep living life and adding more. I was worried about a 9-5 and how tiring that would be, but recently I've been doing a 9-7, teaching classrooms full of Chinese kids that would bully me at first. I was frustrated with the kids, like I'm human too, but realized that is a desperate attempt and won't get me any pity points from the kids. It is a fault of planning. If the kids were occupied, would they have had the time to bully me? And being able to learn from that and come to class the next day and boom, I learned day by day and more about time management, how my actions affect my life, how things make me feel, writing things down and giving my mind a break, and little things like how my printer at work is used. I feel like now how I live my life should be my current and what's organized older self guiding my child part of my mind, so life can be enjoyed through baby steps and progress and when things finally pay off. How do you deal with discipline? Story 20. A lot. A lot is good, and it's so easy to look past what is good and want for more. This world demands it, society and media demands it. But damn it if my life isn't wonderful right now. It has its trials as everyone's does, but I have so much to be thankful for. These are the good times they talk about. Sometimes you just need to take a step back and look around. My wonderful daughter is healthy and brilliant. I'm the least stressed and most fit I've ever been in my entire life at a spry 34. Her mother is the type of woman I never asked for, but so desperately needed in this life of mine. And I am so grateful for her standing by me, always, even when I didn't deserve it. I have short-term goals I want to work on and long-term goals I want to see through. I have hope again. I find joy every day. Story 21. I live in a nice, safe neighborhood and have a job where there is a lot of flexibility. My husband has a high-paying job that he loves most days. It's something I think about every single day, and how far we have come in the last 23 years. I grew up in a small house under 1,000 square feet with a family of 6. After I graduated high school, I lived in a trailer park with my oldest sister. I've moved around a lot since I was 18. This is the longest I've lived in one place. I count my lucky stars every day and realize that everything is temporary. It won't be like this forever. Story 22. I got divorced M37 4 years ago. I realized I was miserable more than I thought in that marriage. Fast travel to the present, I am so happy now. In way better physical shape, my mental health is as best nowadays since 10 plus years ago. My finances are the best as they have never been before. Traveling to all the places I always dreamed about, meeting amazing people, and so far all good. Story 23. I took a huge risk leaving a comfortable job that paid decent, was insanely good work-life balance, awesome coworkers, and daycare for really cheap to go work for another company fully remote, a lot more pay with huge bonus potential. So far, it's been amazing the first 3 months. I love it. The people, I'm getting tons of credit, way more responsibility, and being fully remote at the tits. Also, my family is healthy and happy. Life is good. Story 24. If without complaints and ego, if I look at things objectively, everything is good in my life right now. Though it may seem that it isn't. Who knows if this is good in the future? We don't know. That's why it's good. Amazing to exist, even though suffering comes every now and then. But I'm thankful for those because I hate the feeling of feeling so bored that I don't know what to do with my life. Like instead of having time to do YouTube or TikTok, it's better to have actual things to work towards that would make me move and do something meaningful. Like suffering makes me grow, I become better after each suffering. So I love the suffering. I no longer wish there would be more suffering. I just wish that I get stronger every single day. Story 25. Everything is going well and I'm certain an anvil will drop from the sky at any given moment. I just got a dream promotion and everyone is lovely. Dating is going incredibly well and I'm comfortable with my sexuality. And life in this regard is just IDK beautiful. I'm being active in the gym and thinking of signing up for a half marathon for an extra push. I have some Unreal Intel trips coming up. Friends and family are solid. I'm going to therapy. Literally sat on my roof the last few nights just smoking and contemplating how life is so good right now. Boys and girls mid-30s are incredible. I hope all this good I have is or will be the case for others reading this because everyone deserves it. Story 26. My son is getting married next month. Besides marrying an amazing mate for life, he hit the bingo card with future in-laws. We are now good friends with them and do things together as the in-law outlaws. I always told my kids growing up that when they get married, they marry the whole family, so be choosy. Glad he listened this one time. Story 27. I weigh less than I have in 15 plus years. And I got there by starting running outside again and realizing that I don't need to emotionally eat or eat every time I feel a hunger pang. I genuinely like running but fell out of doing it in 2016 as I gained weight. Now I hope I can also parlay it into going to the gym regularly again. I also quit smoking weed, maybe forever, not sure. And I've been seeing someone for the first time since I got broken up with last year, so I can't complain too much. Story 28. I'm traveling solo in Europe and I'm having the time of my life. I'm in Montpellier Saint-Roch and I'm going to Marseille, Cannes, Pisa, Genoa, Florence, and Milan. I'm only 22 and I've had a tough few years dealing with the aftermath of starting uni during COVID-19. In the process, I started community college, transferred to an accredited university, met my first love, had my first heartbreak, lost 50 plus lbs and started doing Muay Thai. So for me to be able to travel on my own finally feels like a reward for all of the struggle and self-improvement I've experienced these last few years. A story, 29. Grew up poor, happily married, have a crazy but good kid, and we own a single-family home in a wonderful town. Am I always paranoid of being laid off or something going wrong? Yes, but I try to prep us financially as best as I can. I will never go back to the poor I grew up on, or having to move money from AXET to ACT to make bills which my wife and I had to do in the earlier years. Anytime I get down or feeling keep up with Johnsons, I remind myself of above. Story 30. I have a few right now. I've lost a lot of weight and put my diabetes in remission. It also got me off high blood pressure medication and my cholesterol numbers at great levels. I've been able to stop a lot of medication. I can now move without pain. We bought a house in January. I've been working hard on my mental health and have vastly improved it. I have been consistently exercising. I have friends and family I love. Story 31. The work in my house is basically done. I have 2 small projects, but I'm finally finished on all the major stuff. No more weeks, months of disruptions. Now I can just come home and enjoy it. Took a lot to get to this point. Really looking forward to doing other things now. And having the money to do other stuff that's actually fun. Story 32. We have been financially strapped for years. We have 3 kids and get by, but never have money left over for fun activities or vacations. A few weeks ago, a coworker called my husband, who is a painter, and asked if he would be willing to trade some minor painting work, 2 days of work, at their cottage in the Adirondacks for a week-long stay with our kids. My kids, 16, 14, and 12, have been having the time of their lives at the cottage this week. They have been paddleboarding, kayaking, and this morning the 3 of them were in a rowboat wearing fake raccoon skin caps. They asked for them at the gas station as a souvenir, and exploring a small island in the middle of the lake the cottage is on. They are swimming and laughing and sitting around the campfire together. At home, they are mostly in their own rooms and on electronics, so it's just a parent's dream to watch them bonding and making memories together. Story 33. I let the realization hit me that there are tons of people who love spending time with me, and also tons that would love to get to know me better. I've just been limiting myself due to childhood trauma. I've known that for a long time, but since this summer, my brain doesn't seem to sabotage me anymore, and I can finally be social and outgoing again without worrying whether or not PPL like having me around. Story 34, I've been seeing someone that I'm really excited about. There's a possibility it might not go anywhere, but I just really like how I've been feeling, and I'm content with that. I haven't liked anyone like this in a longer time. I'm just enjoying the present and living my best life. He's a great guy. I hope we both get what's meant for us. Story 35, I've decided to try and stay clean from a particular addiction I've had ever since I was around 10. I'm now in my teens. And man, life is awesome. Life's for real good right now because I'm getting my first cat. Not really sure how this will go, but I'm excited. Parents are finally divorcing after years of mistreatment, I suppose. Staying with mother, of course. Life is amazing, and I've told myself to just stop feeling shit and start doing stuff that'll make me happy and make amazing memories. Story 36. I'm unemployed and job searching. While some days the stress of finding a job really gets to me, I'm mostly loving this time in my life. I get to enjoy the slowness of life. I get to be outside when the weather is nice. I can play with my dogs all day. I can read and write and bake whenever I feel the urge. Story 37. Lots. Started a new workout routine. Kids are good, wife, marriage, all good. I feel great. My job is interesting and pays well enough to provide a happy life. And I've saved enough to alleviate most retirement worries. Oh, and I just joined a band as lead guitar player. Story 38. My WBC has been low for a few months. My doctor ran a bunch of tests to rule out viral and autoimmune causes. They were all negative. At the same time, she ran another CBC, and my WBC increased to the highest it's been in 4 months. It's still low, but since it's getting higher, it's a good sign. Instead of a rush to send me to hematology, we are waiting and retesting WBC in a couple months. Hopefully it goes up more or returns to normal. I take that as a win for now. Story 39. Foo asterisk king, absolutely nothing. I have a career that I fucking hate. I have no family that I'm in contact with. My husband is tired of me. I have virtually no control over my own life, very little autonomy. I can't move to a different place because marriage. I can't leave because we love each other. I haven't been on a vacation that wasn't to visit my in-laws in the middle of fucking nowhere in years. I'm old and getting older. This isn't the life I pictured for myself. I didn't elect to not have children, just to be fucking trapped. I hate myself, my body, the way I look. I hate who I am. I used to be fun. I used to care about people. I used to have goals and aspirations I thought were actually possible. I'm a disgusting excuse of a human and should apologize for stealing air from the trees, and I hate everything about myself and my life. I should have been a fucking cum stain. Story 40. Since I got out of grad school, I struggled at all times with problems, egg-toxic relationships and heartbreak, bullying at work, burnout, unexplained health issues, job loss threats, depression. It has finally gotten better, so hanging in there has paid off. While I could still complain about a ton of little stuff, I'm so happy and grateful to say I have a stable relationship with a loving partner. We're trying to start a family, have finally a more or less stable job with work-life balance, good salary, and good chances of promotion in the next one. 2 years, move to my dream flat. Health issues aren't gone, but better than ever in the least 4 years. Finally motivated to go to the gym. I would never brag with this, but you asked what's good, and honestly, I am so grateful that after years of suffering, I finally feel happy. I'm glad I didn't give up because like everyone told me and like I didn't want to believe, it actually got better. Story 41. A weird silver lining. I lost my job a while back, and for extra cash, I've been donating plasma. In order to donate, you have to really watch your diet, especially by cutting back fats and caffeine, and increase the amount of water you drink and eat more protein. I actually like this. I feel healthier than I have in a very long time. I want to continue donating plasma even when I do get back on my feet. The health benefits are so worth it. Yes, right now it is because I need the money, but it's actually been very good for my health in ways I never could have imagined, and I like doing it. Story 42. Around 2 years ago, when I started working after my studies, I sort of predicted that a new job, which basically did not exist back then, would become a big thing in large corporations. I now reap the benefits of that prediction, as I'm one of the only ones who has relatable and relevant experience that I gained the last 2 years that have now resulted in me getting a promotion in this specific role. And because of it being so niche, it pays around 66% more than I was paid 2 years ago. Thank you very much for watching. If you liked the video, like it. Be sure to write comments and share your stories.